Let's be real, life is messy. We all wrestle with loneliness, guilt, and shame.
Having a supportive community and the right resources can make all the difference.
That's why we started Healing Unscripted.
We're just three friends on a mission to bring hope and healing.
Whether you're struggling yourself or walking alongside someone who is,
we're diving deep into the hard stuff.
With insightful guests, real talk,
and a whole lot of heart. Join us on Healing Unscripted.
Hey everybody, I'm Jen. Welcome back to Healing Unscripted. Be sure to share, like, follow, and subscribe.
Hi, I'm Liana. Today we're going to be talking about grief and the holidays and just what's okay to feel, what's not okay to feel, how people get through it. It's a tough time for some people, and we're just here to start the communication about it.
Hey everyone, and I'm Laura. We're really excited to share this topic. And then for all of us, it was very interesting how emotional it was for us this morning, thinking about coming in to do this. There were a lot of tears shed already this morning as we try to prepare for this. But we know this is such an important topic. And to me, I think it's one of my, not favorites, but it is important that we share with you kind of real life experiences that we've got from a whole lot of people. So it's not just the four of us sharing. We have, insight from people who have lost loved ones through numerous ways. So we're just going to kind of share that and what helped and what didn't. You guys, when you are done with this episode, you're going to have a good idea of what to say, what you should do, and what you should not do. So we're happy to share that with you guys. And then, of course, welcome back one of our favorite and our most popular guests.
Oh, I love that one.
Yay, it's Kelli Johnson.
We did the follow-up. I'm so proud of us. And thank you for having me for this episode, because I think, especially after the first episode, we're talking about like finding the joy, finding the hope in the grief, in the heartache. Like this is so good to circle back with, right? Because this is such a happy time of year and we're with families and loved ones. And then, but in the midst of all that, we're also like, oh, we have a lot of people who aren't with us right now too.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah. And you said you had a quote you wanted to kick us off with?
I wanted to start with this, and then I'll put my phone on the side like a good podcaster.
That's right.
Okay. So a gentle reminder this holiday season, you don't have to choose between gratitude and grief. You are allowed to hold joy in one hand and sorrow in the other.
That's so good.
And that popped up last night as I was like,
that's beautiful.
Doom scrolling before bed.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
It just knew. It knew I needed something to bring to the table today.
You just experienced the first year anniversary of losing Matt. How was that for you and your kids?
Yeah, it's crazy that it's been a year. Leading up to the 1 year anniversary, because again, like I talked about the last time, like communication is so important in my household and making sure the kids feel heard and supported. And even like in the therapy world, like the counselors at school had started talking to the kids kind of leading up to it. And like I had been very open with the kids too, like, hey, do we want to do anything special? Like, what do we want this to look like? Like, 'cause you don't necessarily want to like make a big deal about it if they're feeling okay.
Can you just really quick before you go on, just tell our viewers like what date it was, and then like how you lost them.
It's important
because we're all going to lose people in different ways in this episode.
The date is still wild to me. So he died on 11/11, which is Veterans Day, which always kind of like, again, I don't think he planned that in that moment. Like when Matt took his own life, I don't think he thought, I'm going to do it on this day. I think just circumstantial. It just, it's just wild that happened to be the day. Yeah. But there was a period of time where we didn't know if he was gone or not. So like we didn't actually find out that he had died until the 12th. So, but 11, I see 11/11 every day. Like before Matt passed, his dad and I would always talk about like angel numbers and the, the repeating of that and what that meant. And
11 angel numbers.
Yes. Yeah. And like, I'm such a believer in it. And so I'm always like, hey, like when, once a day, twice a day. And
wow.
So, and we can circle back too about how like this holiday season and with my hip surgery, how that kind of all came into play because the dates are.
Was that on 11/11?
I had the surgery 11/12.
Oh,
I started my FMLA from work 11/11, 1 year to the day.
Wow.
So it just, again.
Can we say another thing that was so amazing. Like, what an awesome godsend was the Northern Lights on
Oh,
11/11 in
Yes.
Steamboat. It was my first time
I've-
to
I don't wanna
see the
talk
Northern
about it.
Lights.
Same.
You're bitter about that.
Same. You're bitter.
And
about
then
it.
you,
I missed it. I
'cause she
tried
missed it.
so hard.
You saw
Oh,
so many
She did
pictures.
try hard. I'm sorry.
But you guys got that
Getting
gift as a
goosebumps.
family.
I know. We get to take a
It made me
picture.
so, I was
It was
so
beautiful.
happy.
And I had so many people. Thank you for reaching out that day too, because I had so many people are like, he's watching over you. He's, and I'm just like, oh, I really believe. I don't know. So many people got to experience that joy, but it felt very
Personal.
personal.
Yeah.
Yes. And
As
the
it
kids and
should.
I got a cool picture. And it was funny because I was supposed to leave for my surgery was done in Basalt, and I was supposed to leave earlier that day. And we just kept having people come up, to the house and give us, flowers and food and love. And it was kind of like an open house, just drop in beautiful day is what it ended up being. And so it was hard to be sad that particular day because there was so much joy and, support. But yeah, if we would have left earlier, we would have missed that.
Missed that.
So
See, everything does happen for a
crazy.
reason.
Yeah.
Agreed.
A year later, how are the kids?
It's funny. Lucas and I, my oldest, and sorry, Lucas, if you ever watch this, but, we talked about last night actually about like it hits you at just the most random moment. So I think on the actual year, we were all like kind of mentally prepared and we were okay. I always tell people like 4th of July hit us real hard. That's such a random holiday for it to be so hard. But it was Matt's favorite, he would get he would get the fireworks and do all the things you weren't supposed to do and just make it really special for the kids. So each one of my children that day took turns like having breakdowns. And so, but we had a bunch of family and friends in town for that holiday too. So like I kind of all divided and conquered, and then they just like ran the party so I could just go and sit. I mean, Eli and I sat on the back steps of the deck for 45 minutes and just cried. And like at 2 p.m. on the 4th of July, like just,
That's so important.
Allow yourself that space and allow your kids and everybody else just to feel whatever they feel whenever they feel, and it's okay.
Exactly.
And it is so random. That's what I've experienced this last year. It is so random. For me, it's usually more like certain music and certain songs. That's when it really gets me. And I haven't yet experienced the 1-year anniversary, but it's just so random and out of the blue. I never know it's like really coming. It just kind of hits you.
Don't you think though that that's like just another example that they're always with us?
Yes.
Like, because it's like a normal like Monday afternoon, and you're like, why am I so sad today?
Yeah.
And yesterday I was totally fine. Yeah. Or why like last year for Christmas, like it was wonderful. We went back to Missouri and celebrated with with my family, but mostly Matt's family, and it was like one of the best Christmases we had in forever. And I was like, why is this so easy? But then like 2 months later, like on a random day, you're like sobbing and you're like, oh, okay. But I think it's good. I think that's okay.
Just as much
It
as
is
like
okay.
the sad things happen, like the sad emotions, you can hear a song and have a memory and start laughing out of nowhere too, and just have this big smile on your face as you're thinking of them, and then you're just like, oh, that was a good moment. So
hold on to those
and hold on to them
and not feel bad about them.
And then you get sad because then you miss, and then you're like, I'm never gonna have that moment again. But it's just all part of the process.
It was a precious moment. It is all part of the process.
Well, something different we did for this episode is we reached out to some of our listeners to share some statements on grief in general, or grief during the holidays. So I'm just going to periodically read some of these throughout the episode. And this first one is, this helps me every day, but especially during the holidays, to say yes or no to others to support myself. Because 1, grief is a job with choices and decisions. What choices and decisions do I need to make for myself to be kind and gracious to my profoundly changed heart. Number 2, grief is a chair in the room. Sometimes I can be in a room with a collection of chairs of grief, like a bereavement group or dear friends, family, where I can talk and cry. And grief is also universal, but responses are not. So when, not if, I'm blindsided by grief with overwhelming tears, I return to my job of choosing what's best for me. Hopefully, my choices/decisions can be embraced by others as they love me for who I am here and now and always. Embrace what is, honor what was, love what will be.
I like that.
Wow.
Who was that from?
I'm gonna get that tattooed on me.
I know the whole thing.
No, but the embrace what is, honor what was, love
Love
what
what
will
will
be.
Ooh.
That's really beautiful.
That was really good advice.
Mhm.
I love
Thought so
that.
too. So we'll continue sharing some of those throughout the show.
Whatever.
Well, I was just thinking when you were talking about when I was asking you how the 1 year went, and you were saying you were kind of mentally prepared for it, and that it's really other random times that might have hit you more. That's a little encouraging because I think there's some pressure coming up on Christmas.
Yes.
Will be the 1 year that my dad died, and I don't know that when you said that, it kind of took a little bit of the pressure off because I don't know what it's supposed to look like, how you're supposed to celebrate or honor it or what, I don't know.
And go back to that. Like, there's no right reason.
Right. Doing this trip to Vegas, and it's supposed to be for Grace's graduation and this tradition that we've had in our family. But I think it's a fun, healthy distraction
Oh, yeah.
leading
Should
up
cut this
to
out.
the date of the 1 year.
10 out of 10 recommend
which-
unhealthy distractions.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about this opportunity and on board with it. Support my mom through that as well. I feel like my dad, I feel like he comes to me in dreams, and at least every 2 to 3 months, I've had a dream about him where it's very real and we're together. And he was really a man of few words and didn't have a whole lot of emotions, but yet he exuded love and joy. He was just one big ball of love. So you never didn't know where he stood with you. He just loved so many people. But his response, if something was bothering me, it'll be okay. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. And just kind of like pat you, you know? So I had this dream Saturday night, and he and I used to communicate just by staring at each other. Like if something was going on within the family, he and I could just look at each other, and we knew like these people over here and are my family, they're crazy. He and I could just speak that way. It was really special. And I'm having this dream, and he and I are doing that. We're looking at each other, and I started tearing up, and I'm like confused. I'm like, I don't know if you're already gone. I don't know if you're about to go, but I start like tearing up to cry. And he looked at me and he smiled and he goes, "It'll be all right. It'll be all right."
That's so beautiful.
And it was so real, guys.
Oh, I've had those before.
It was
especially
so
after
real.
my mom.
Yeah.
And so I don't remember anything else about the dream. The dream ended. I woke up. I was so excited that I had that moment with him that I fell back asleep and I started a new dream. And in that second dream, I was telling everyone in the dream how excited I was that I had just seen my dad in the dream before.
That's so cool.
It was
Wow.
incredible.
That's cool.
Just incredible. It
Those
is a
moments.
gift. And I'm so thankful for them because I feel like he's still talking to me, you know? Another hard part of this scenario for me is that everyone accepts or deals with grief differently. And so a couple months after Dad died, we were talking family business, and my brother, I give him grace in his grief journey. But I've been dealing with losing a brother in this process this past year, losing a brother that's still alive.
Oh,
You know,
that's almost the hardest.
that's hard to put into words, but I know
That's
this
another
probably
kind of
isn't
grief, though, too,
uncommon.
That's what I
right?
was
Like
just
that's
thinking,
such a
Leanna.
good
Yeah.
point that you just made, that grief doesn't have to mean
Yeah.
losing somebody out of this world. It can mean just grieving anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Separated families.
It's the loss of the
or-
perceived
Mhm.
relationship too,
Yeah.
and how you thought you and your brother would be going into the future.
Yes.
Or even after a loss, that great, thinking that, well, this will bring us all closer together.
That's
And then
That
that's
was
that's never
no,
necessarily true.
exactly.
But that happens a lot, I
And that's
think.
because
I
he's
agree.
dealing with the grief a completely different
Different way than me.
direction.
Yes.
And that's so important to also recognize that some people do it crying and they move on, they keep their stuff together, their lives, and some people will completely like push away
Yeah.
and
They're
and get
angry.
angry and
Yes.
just completely implode almost.
Right.
Hurts more people.
I don't think his way is right or wrong. My way is right or wrong. I would never put those titles on
Right.
it. But it hurts and it's a loss.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it will never be repaired. But we're coming up on the 1 year. And so I'm grieving that as well. The other thing that I struggle with grief is, and this is just a me thing, but I lost my dad, right? I'm 48 years old and I had my dad for 48 years. That's a blessing.
Yep.
That is incredible. I'm so lucky, right? And he was 85 years old and he lived a good, full life. So sometimes I try to compare my grief to like losing a sibling or losing a son or losing a spouse. Those in my mind feel heavier and worse than my scenario, but probably hurt just the same as all of you guys.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know what I
You
mean?
can't compare.
Absolutely.
I get why you do.
I think love is love,
Right.
right? And everybody's relationships are just different with each other. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously, father to sibling to um child to husband, it's all different, but love is love and loss is loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, and I'm sure you know, when you lose a parent, you like reflect back to your earliest moment of childhood and you reflect and you remember and you think about things from like moment one, like your entire life.
Mhm.
It's just a really strange thing to like go through.
I'm actually doing that with my therapist right now. It's this new therapy called IFS. I had never heard of it, but you go back and like look at your memories, look at like what shaped you, look at these different feelings that are like contributing to your growth
Today.
and healing process today. And it's been really cool. And my biggest one that I'm working on right now is guilt.
Wow.
You know,
That's what we do in Regen.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
like the process.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
But back to like this quote that you just read too, like you have to do what's right for you, right? And just like your brother's doing what's right for him,
Right.
and you're not going to be on the same page, and hopefully one day you will come together.
Yes.
Yeah.
But everyone has to go through their own process.
Agree.
And that timeline is so different for people, and it doesn't matter who you lost. It's love
No,
is love,
loss.
grief is grief,
Yeah.
and people are going to experience that in very dramatic
Different ways.
Different ways.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very much so.
And my journey was opposite because we lost my sister, this summer. And that was a very quick. I mean, no, it wasn't. We had 3 weeks with her from when we found out that she had cancer, pancreatic cancer, and to when we lost her.
That's quick.
And it is quick, but then there's quick, and then there's quick.
True,
And
true.
quick. You know, like,
Yeah.
and there's not a day that goes by that I don't thank God for that blessing I feel like he blessed all of us because he knew she had such a hard life. And he was like, I'm ready. I'm bringing her home, but I'm going to give you guys this time. And we got to say all the things, and we got to laugh, and we got to cry, and we got to sing, and we got to do
And you got to document all those
all
moments.
I was a
Right?
I would, and I can't look at the pictures now, but someday I will. And we all went through it together, and it puts everything in perspective of what's important. And I thank God that it wasn't, because I talked to some people, and some people will say, oh, my relative was on hospice for 6 weeks, 4 weeks. I mean, 7 weeks. And I'm like, I don't know how we could have done that because we were exhausted. Our lives were put on hold.
Mhm.
You were sad that whole time. Like and watching my sister go through, the pain.
Yeah, the physical
The
aspect.
physical, yeah.
Mhm.
And we had 2 good weeks, and then the last week was just horrific. But, I mean, I'm not gonna say good. I'm gonna say we had 2 weeks
Tolerable?
of her being lucid. And, the c I guess the thing that I always say she will be proud of, because I do still like to make her proud, is that any broken relationship that happened, that was going on at the time or going on for years, man, it got mended. We worked together as a family. I saw reconciliations between my mom and dad at her celebration of life. I was looking up, I'm like, Tina,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I just knew she was smiling. It was me and my mom worked amazing as a team. My niece, who, God, she's my hero, but she's had quite the life, and I'm in awe of how she's handled all of this. Sometimes she tells me it's gonna be okay
Mhm.
because she knows I lost a sister, and I'm like, but you lost a mom.
Yeah.
But we, instead of anyone, and she has every right to be the craziest drug addict, wild child. And I tell her that, I'm like, how you are just so beautiful and put together is just beyond me. And I know that's your mom strength in you. And my sister was not well. She had a TBI and she had an AVM in her brain. So my niece only knew a person who had brain issues.
Mhm.
And over the years, it wasn't getting better and it was getting worse. So we were looking at a hard journey for my sister no matter what. And it has been heartbreaking watching my sister go turn into a person that I know she wouldn't have liked. And I could see this torment in her. So that was a whole different thing. And then she gets pancreatic cancer. And I'm just grateful because when she got it, I had this peace, and I say it's God's voice. God was telling me, I'm bringing my daughter home. He didn't say your sister. He didn't call her by name. He said, I'm bringing my daughter home. It's time. She's had enough. And therefore, you can't argue with that. So I don't ask why, and I don't get upset. It is what it is. This was her life. It's not God's fault. He didn't give her cancer. He didn't, because I had an interesting question yesterday. A client of mine asked, can I ask you a question? How do you reconcile God doing this to people, in our lives, to our loved ones? And I looked at her and I said, it's not He didn't do anything.
No.
There is guarantees on this earth that we're going to have pain and we're going to have sorrow. We're going to have hard times, grief, right? But on the other hand, we're going to have happiness and joy and peace and love and all the good things too. So it's a perfect blend of everything, right?
Well, and then you add in free will.
Oh yeah. Then there's
People's
that whole
decisions
messed up.
that change the course of how things were supposed to maybe go. So
that's why you can't blame.
Yeah.
I don't sit there and blame God. I don't ask why. It's just what we went through.
It's just
and
life.
it's how we decide to go on. And Kylie's such an amazing example of that, because how she decides to live her life, she could go down that road because she has every right to mentally. She grew up with this, but she's not. And so she's doing so good. And my mom's doing so good. And when we do have a bad day, we call each other.
Yeah.
And we say,
That's good.
I'm having a bad day. I miss her. And they say, it's okay.
Yep.
And
In the
then we
meantime, you're
cry.
all focusing on the joy though, in between, right? And the good stuff. And you keep living for them.
It'll be okay.
Right?
It'll be okay.
It will be
It'll be
okay.
okay.
I feel that. I know it will. That's just so cool.
Yeah, your story and how your family came together through this situation was pretty powerful for me and inspiring. And I know from the depths of your core being, you never anticipated that happening. So I've been very just praising God for giving you that experience.
Yes, thank you.
And your family,
Yeah,
not
the
just you,
whole
but your whole
family.
Oh
family.
yeah, no, we all
Lots of
needed
healing
that.
happened
Lots of
out of a
healing.
very traumatic, sad situation.
I saw my dad and his sisters sit down on the couch and have a beautiful conversation and take pictures together. They've been at odds for years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the whole time I just see my
That's so
sister
special.
smiling. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's interesting.
I don't
Here's another quote that's really cool. Grief is like a body of water that is always there and always moving. Some days the water is more turbulent and I notice it more. Some days are calmer, and while I know it's there, I can carry it. The holidays approaching is wrapped also in the first anniversary of losing my brother for the first time and Christmas without him. The waters right now are crashing waves, unpredictable, but when they come, it completely envelops me. Having loving support around me to carry me when a wave knocks me over and keeps me going has helped so much. Grief, and I think, has to be a never ending new normal, and to feel and validate the water and waves, I think, is so important.
Beautiful.
This totally goes with that, right? Like
What-
surrounding yourself with the people. But I had someone
Yeah.
give me a very similar quote to that after Matt passed. And the water, like I'm such a water person. I love the lakes. I love the rivers. It just has always like stuck with me. And when I spoke at Lobster Fest, I think I used a quote about,
Yeah.
riding the waves and
Mm-hmm.
and letting the joy.
By the
wash
way,
over
that
you,
was so
too.
cool when you were the keynote speaker at
Mhm.
this year's Lobster Fest, which is that's a big fundraiser.
It was an honor.
That you mentioned healing
Well, 'cause
unscripted.
you
Oh, I
girls are
know.
so important, and this community needs to recognize that and listen.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was like my Oscar moment. Like
Aw.
literally, like you talking about that was really beautiful. So thank you.
You're so
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you guys.
I almost
Like,
crashed it.
just you should have.
I'm next year. I'm
I
going
did.
to.
Yeah.
Well, let's all go together next year.
Okay.
Okay?
Agreed.
Yeah.
So what is it that you have here that Kelly was looking over?
Okay,
Sorry.
the 3 C's of grief. Choose, make choices to connect. So I think the biggest, and we do this in Regen all the time, don't isolate.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like you have to
Right.
choose to come out, or you have to choose to call people. You have to get up and choose to take your shower, do your hair, go take care of your kids, go to work.
Mhm.
Choose. Connect, seek supportive relationships, and then communicate, expressing your feelings and needs to those around you. And then obviously it's good to have people who are willing to listen to
Mhm.
you, but you'll find the right people. I mean, I feel like everyone has one person who will
Mhm.
that you can call. Like for you guys,
Mm.
after my mom passed, my sister and I really miss her today. And just being able to do that we did that for a lot of years, but the
Sure.
first year especially, you do it all the time. So
Do you
find your
guys,
people.
even if you're not calling someone within your family unit, like our family, we're always talking about Dad. Like
Mhm.
he's always very present. We're always repeating his funny one-liners.
Mhm.
We're always laughing about something he said or did
We do too about my
all
sister.
the time.
Yeah.
And I know it hasn't quite been a year, but I really don't feel like that's going to go away. Like
Oh, that's
he
good.
he made such an impact in our family. I can't imagine
You'll do
not
it.
talking about
You'll
him.
do it forever.
Yeah.
Because it'll keep his spirit alive.
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
exactly.
You
Like
have
it's a
to.
way to honor him and remember him.
Yeah.
So
Are you guys able to do that?
Oh yeah.
The kids,
Oh yeah.
can easily.
We call them funny daddy stories.
Mhm.
They're like crazy. But yeah. And then like a random country song will come on and yeah. And then like we're all singing it and we're like, do you remember when Daddy used to sing this? And so yeah, it's a constant that's what Lucas and I talked about last night. It was like trying to remember the good. Because the last couple years when he was so just unstable, like there was so much hard
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
sadness. And so like like you just talking about Tina, like
Mhm.
it's just like you see them suffering
Mhm.
and everyone else is suffering because of either their inability to get better or their choices that they make that don't let them get better or whatever the reasoning
Yeah.
is, right? And so
They're suffering, you're suffering.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I think for the first few months, the first few months you're just numb, right? And then when you start to come out of it, you like remember the hardship and a lot of the bad. And so now I think we're finally to the point where I'm like, look at all this good, right? Look at all so I told Lucas last night, I said, you kids are like the best thing that came out of your dad, so it's,
true.
and you just have to and remember that, because Lucas is like, but I just always wonder like the what if and what would our lives be? And I'm like, I know, bud, but like you can't change
not an
that. Like
option.
that is a hard line that you can't go back. So like the best thing you can do is go forward and like live to honor him and live to make him proud and make the choices, you're going to screw up. We're all going to have sad days. We're all going to have bad days where we make awful decisions that we're not proud of, but like remember where you came from and who your father was at his core. And
that's a big one that I found online research too, is finding this like new meaning, right? And then reminding them that what you do is still like they're still watching you, and you are now like the living proof of them.
Yeah.
And you
An
have
extension.
To keep, so you have to keep
So
moving
good.
and living and loving and being productive for them.
Couple of things before I forget, because my brain, but someone, I don't know where I got this quote, but someone said, by the time your loved one gets welcomed into heaven and says hello to all their loved ones and hugs Jesus, by the time they turn around, you're there. Because there is no time in heaven.
Ooh.
So we have to go through this earth without them, but they are not going without us. And meaning like we will all be together where there is, no pain and no sadness. But this is what's cool. You're saying about the good things that you were talking about. But last night, Kylie and I were talking, and I had a moment. I said, I miss her today. And she's like, I know. I said, how are you doing with the holidays? The first Thanksgiving coming up, and we're planning it. And she's like, it's hard because I miss my mom, and I went to go get a recipe, and I was like, well, picked up the phone because mom will know. And then she's got to put down the phone again because she's like, oh, shoot. And she's like, it's moments like that. And then so she knew I was crying, which I don't do a lot of. And she's so cute. She's like, but then again, then I think, well, she would show up to dinner and say, I can't believe you made the green beans like that. And you wore that to our Thanksgiving. And she would criticize the tablecloths, and she would have done it better. And we just started laughing. I'm like, I love you, Kylie. Thank you for making me laugh and remind me that we can make it a Hallmark moment, but then there's reality. And my sister would have picked apart the table setting, but in her beautiful, funny, fun, predictable way that we all are ready for. And that was just her. And you got to love those times too. But yeah, it was fun to like remember the
reality
of it. Yeah. But what it really would have been like.
Correct. Yeah.
Not snow falling gently out the window while you're sitting around a fireplace and everybody's laughing and playing games and sipping on brandy, and the dog is,
Don't you love the Facebook highlight reel?
Eating a
my
candy
favorite.
cane.
Yes. No.
Tell me you don't eat a candy cane like that.
Jen.
Here.
Okay, so we need a picture with candy canes.
I don't know why.
Wow.
She took it to another
She
went dark.
level.
She's getting tired.
She likes the candy canes.
Okay, look, I want to go back to something that you said, though, because I think this is something that doesn't get talked about, but it goes along with, for me, losing my mom. It was the same thing with like all of her family, and how like I went to my aunt right away, and I'm like, this is so hard. You lost, your sister, and my grandparents lost their daughter. So it was like, but because she was sick she had a long lifetime of illnesses, but in the end, it was maybe 18 months. It was like, we had a long time to prepare. And when it is done, you were kind of like, oh, okay, like they are not suffering anymore, because 18 months was a long time to see them deteriorate. But something that you had said was, well, you go through your shock phase.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I just feel like this part is what is missed, is that it's almost like a PTSD
Mm-hmm.
that you yourself then have to heal from. I mean, for me, I had a 1-year-old. When my mom died, the boys were 1 and 3, and I was flying back every month to take care of her with the babies, like, in tow usually most of the time.
Oh, wow.
So it was like there was so much, like, stress and work and calling
Mhm.
Were
doctors
you a
and
nurse
healing and
yet?
helping.
Or were you in school?
No, I stopped school when my mom got
Okay.
sick and then restarted. So, yeah, I didn't
Okay.
become a nurse until my 30s. So I lost my mom in my mid-20s, and she was in her mid-50s. So the same as Kylie, your niece,
Mm-hmm.
but being that she was sick all of growing up for me, like, it gives you such a different
Mm-hmm.
perspective, I think, on so many things. But one is when they go,
Mm-hmm.
you don't know. I mean, that was my first, like, big, like, learning to deal with grief for sure. Um, but there is, like, a weird, like, letdown then when you don't have to care for them. So you have to learn to mourn them and then learn how to get over all this kind of stuff. Like, you're kind of carrying the weight of the world. And, like, I was doing a lot of the caregiving even from afar to keep my mom's everything in order and her doctors in order. So
Yeah, that makes sense,
it's
though.
a
That makes
it's an
sense.
interesting
Oh, for
perspective.
sure.
And
'Cause
someone was telling me about it recently too, and I was like, and it was over the loss of a relationship. So it's the same thing,
Mhm.
like when people get divorced
Mhm.
or you lose a brother through an argument or a loss, there's still well, that happened, and you have to figure out how to come to terms with this hard stuff that you went through, and then just like our last episode, give yourself grace
Yeah.
as you really.
Because there is some sort of like relief in that, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that's where my guilt comes from, is like
Yeah.
the relief that, like, okay, I am living for me, for my kids right now.
Mhm.
And that's it. Right. I mean, and
It's an
there's,
adjustment.
yeah. And there's, like, we
Yeah.
talked about in the last time we were all together, the peace, right? Finding your peace.
Yes.
And so, like, again, like, that's where I keep coming back. I'm feeling guilty. I'm feeling guilty for that. And it's like, you
Mhm.
don't need to feel guilty for that. But there is that, yeah, the release, the relief, the letdown,
Mhm.
it's all the feelings. And
Right.
That probably most people are scared to talk about because you
right.
don't want people judging you in some way.
Correct.
What are you talking about? You feel a relief,
Mhm.
you know? So I think that's important to mention.
Yeah.
And that's not
Every
in every
circumstance is
case.
different.
That's not
Every
in
case
every
is
case,
different.
but
Mhm.
it's okay in the cases that it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, there's no one standard for any of this.
Right.
Oh, so here's a quote I have that someone said, a woman who lost her husband to suicide, hope and connection make all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
And
can
I
see
think
that.
that's our favorite. We're all about hope and healing.
Okay, another quote that we have from a listener. For my grief can look a little different since I lost my dad at 13. Seeing other kids with their dads or being asked about mine is always how it really hits. And around the holidays too, knowing that he can't be here with me anymore. That's my niece Audrey. She lost her dad at 13. And I thought that was a good perspective and something we don't think about. She's around all of her friends who
Mhm.
mostly all have both
Mhm.
their parents,
Yeah.
and where's your dad? That was a good thing to think about.
Yeah, I like that. All right, I want to share what Erin had to share with us.
She was
wanted
a
to-
guest. She was one of our guests.
Yes, and she had lost her mom to suicide. So I said, what are some tips you have for people, what to say and what not to say, how to show up, and what do we do? She said, always call, always keep in touch, always offer a hug, meet for coffee or lunch. What never to say. Never say, I understand how you feel. Because she was like, no, you don't. I might be on my period that day and I might be crying over my mom's blah, blah, blah. So she's like, you do not know how I feel. And I love that because I think when my mom passed, I would say, oh, I understand how you feel. But foot and mouth, I said it to somebody and they were kind of like, yeah, my mom was kind of a piece of doo-doo. So I don't really have any of those emotions. I'm like, what? Your mom was not a good mom? Well, my mom was great, and I'm sorry. So then I even realized.
They're like, you're right. I don't know how you feel.
So I realized in my 20s,
Yeah.
you can't say that to people either.
Mm.
because it does not apply all the time.
That's so
I
true.
think
At
sometimes
all.
it's just you don't have to say anything either. I think it's okay to just listen
Yes, but
and
keep
give
in
a hug.
touch. But keep
Yeah.
in touch. I think that's um, the biggest one is don't run away from a friend who's lost somebody. Always go to them. And I want to give a shout out to one of my best friends who was there for me when my mom passed away. And that was over 20 years ago. But my friends Carrie and Dana, they knew exactly what to do because I'm in my mid 20s with 2 babies. And they just kept coming over and making coffee and giving me hugs and doing the normal mom stuff. Do you need help cleaning? Do we need to be cooking? What do we need to do? And hugs, all the free hugs, and then not afraid to talk about my mom. Like, oh, you were so sweet. You must have got this from your mom. How sweet was your mom? Tell me about your mom.
Oh,
It was so amazing. I mean, and we are closer than sisters, but she came in. We literally moved in next to each other 6 months before my mom passed. It's like, what, and we kind of had no idea until maybe like 5 years later when she had to move. It kind of just kept forming this like, wow, how blessed were we
yeah.
that even through all of this chaos, like God placed us as neighbors next to each other.
He knew.
And
Yeah.
now
He knew what you needed.
I needed her so desperately. I
Mhm.
needed my friends. And over 20 years later, we were on our text thread this morning, helping each other out
That's awesome.
with our grown kids stuff.
That's
Yay.
awesome.
You just reminded me of something about still showing up, and I am guilty of something um that I just don't think I want to face, but it's very selfish of me. So our friend has ALS
Yeah.
and is not doing good. It's been too long since I've seen her before my sister died because I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
go to her afterwards. I couldn't see this again. And I still haven't gone, but we're going to go on Tuesday.
Great. You have a plan.
But yeah, it's been guilty because it's been for selfish reasons that I can't go to get to see her because I don't want to. One thing at my sister's celebration, I love getting ready and, putting on events. And I could not pick out an outfit. And I didn't care about my hair. I just need to make the event nice. I don't even care about. And then it made me realize, yeah, because I don't want to be here. I don't want to be doing this. I don't want, nobody wants this. And it was like, it was okay to say that to people like, yeah, I don't have a speech because I don't want to be giving a speech at my sister's celebration of life.
And that's okay.
But apparently I ended up talking and saying something and it was good. But like literally it's such a, yeah. And it's okay to give yourself that space to be like, cause this sucks and I don't want to do it.
I think about from my friend Michelle, who I went to high school with. She lost her husband to ALS. I think it was 3 years ago. But she and her husband, like we were chasing him around in high school. Like I was with her. We were actively pursuing this guy.
Same guy.
Yep. And she ended up marrying him and having 3 kids. And our kids are kind of close in age. At least we had our oldest around the same time. But it was interesting that we were just kind of friends on Facebook, because both busy mom, working life. And as soon as we moved here, it was very shortly after that her husband had passed away. And even it was only a few years, that he had ALS. But I got a few tips from her. I asked her if she would be willing to share what it's been like for her and the kids. And she, it was sad. We were talking about this before we started filming, but it was really, I think it's really eye-opening that even as adults, because, she was in her mid-40s then, and losing her husband, it was really hard that she lost friends from that. And because they didn't know what to say or how to show up for her. So I think people just kind of stop calling because they don't know
It's uncomfortable.
how to respond because it is uncomfortable, which I experienced with my mom. So I can, sometimes when you lose this, it depends on maybe the community you're in. Because I know for you, it's been different, Kelli.
It's been that's the whole time. Like I'm listening to these stories, I'm like, I'm just feeling so thankful because I've never not felt supported. Like
That's beautiful.
I've never been
That's
lonely. I mean, like I said, some nights are lonely, but like it's so much love. And like friends that I've known for 30 years, college friends I've made here. It's just everyone's become family.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Love that.
You picked good friends.
Yeah, you have a good picker.
Pick some good ones.
Yeah,
Well, it was really
you.
cool because I saw people, my sister and I have been so connected. She doesn't have one friend that didn't become my friend and vice versa. So when everybody was at her celebrate, I knew everybody.
Which is so cool.
And there were so many people at different walks of our life that showed up. And there are some people that I was surprised didn't show up. But the important, and I wasn't, someone was like, oh, isn't that weird that so-and-so didn't show up? They're in town. Why? And I'm like, no, because I'm not going to go there because everybody deserves grace. Even the way that they
couldn't be there.
They couldn't be there. Just like,
just like you didn't want to be there.
Me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so no, I'm not judging anybody for the way they act around death and grief because it's a stupid, weird, yucky, ugly thing. And it's poo-poo. Okay. The grief of losing your child to suicide is life-altering. Life looks very different and things that seem so important before no longer are. As Thanksgiving approaches, my grief keeps boiling up as if the event happened yesterday. Yet I have found a way to feel my son very close to me. Through prayers, my meditations, painting, and playing music, I calm myself. It is in that calmness where I sense my son very near to me. Learning how to have this new relationship with him is now what is the most important thing to me. Oh, that's crazy.
A new relationship with
Yep.
my son
Yep.
after
Man,
he's gone.
That was just like,
Yeah.
it's
someone
so
else.
true.
Someone else had also told me they had sent me this really cool quote, and it was forming your new identity after you've lost someone that's so dear to you. You really are not the same person.
No.
You're not ever going to be that person
No,
again.
You can't be.
At my
You have to
brother's
embrace it.
celebration of life, my sister said, I miss worrying about my brother.
Oof.
Like, yeah.
Because that was the normal.
That
for
was the
so
norm.
long.
We didn't know where he was. He was drug addicted for a very long time. Sometimes he'd be homeless. Sometimes we wouldn't talk to him for a couple months to a year. And that really was like a mic dropper because I never thought of that way. And my mom's going through that. One thing that my mom would probably say is she doesn't know how not to worry about my sister. And so she's constantly asking us, do we need anything? Are we okay? And I'm like, Mom, I love you, but it's time for you to have peace too. And it's okay. Let us take care of you.
Yeah.
Like,
and say like, I promise I will reach out if I need something.
Yeah.
Like give her that kind of
oh yeah,
comfort,
she knows.
right?
Yeah.
I'll just share what my mom said. She said, grief is a day-to-day experience. Some days I plan to do things and then I can't make myself get out of bed and face the day. I try to present myself as a happy in dealing with life, but that is often a lie. Most days I'm just sad and lonely, missing my husband, friend, and love of my life. Others want me to deal with it, get over it, and move on. That is not possible. But the pain isn't as sharp as it was in the beginning. It took me a long time to face the fact that he wasn't coming back home. I was numb and in denial for a long time. I'm learning to live a new life and thankful that I have a strong family and friend support network.
God, that's as real. I love that. As real as you can get.
Go to Vegas.
We're going to Vegas,
really good.
rolling the dice.
And all else fails. I've got the answer.
Vegas.
But it makes sense why she, like I get it. That's what so the last time I was here, I had just gotten back from that Hawaiian trip that Matt and I had originally planned that I took the kids on anyway. And I was literally 3 days home from that. And my girlfriend called me and she's like, we're going to go to Mexico in November. Are you in? And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah. And again, it just,
Why not?
why not take the trip?
Do you guys feel like you have an obligation to live for the other person. Like, meaning, like, I personally, because my sister has never been able to live the life that, she wanted, and she can't now. She died so young. Because I went to Hawaii 2 weeks after her celebration of life, and I said yes, and I think it had a part to do with because I have to. I want to live for both of us. I want to live my life because you never know when it's going to get taken away.
Exactly. And I think it started as an obligation, but like as time has gone by, now it's like it's because it's what I want too, right?
Yeah.
And it's the example I want to set for my kids.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that you have to keep going on.
Yeah.
I know. I definitely felt that with my mom, like, because she was such a good person. So I'm like, how do I give that kind of motherly love and give it to my kids? So it completely changed, I think, how I mothered
But
my
you
kids.
also give motherly love to everybody.
True story.
That is very amazing.
Your
It's
nature.
from my mom.
Yeah.
It's all my mom.
See,
Is that how she was?
She's still here.
And then, but
Giving
I
that back.
also have the time. So there's like time periods too, right? Like when she was 38, she almost died, and I was 8. So I had this big like come to Jesus moment when I was turning 38 and I had 3 kids.
Oh, yeah.
But it was like, but I am healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I should live each day like it is the best day ever. Literally. Isn't that a cartoon? It is the best day ever.
It can be.
My mom
it is
waited
now.
until the
But-
63 because I think my grandmother was either 62 or 63 when she died. So my mom, when she reached that age, she goes, I made it.
No.
It's almost like she was waiting. And
Yeah. My
Well, we
mom
never
did that
know.
too when we weren't allowed to acknowledge or celebrate her turning 50 because her dad died at 50, her uncle died, and like someone else all died at 50. So she just knew in her
that's
head
scary.
she was going to die at 50. So we weren't allowed to talk about it and I thought that was the strangest thing. And then once she made it to 50 and day 1, it was okay.
It was like,
Yeah.
woohoo!
It was like this mental block that she had set up for herself.
I think that was my mom too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
I think of it as a blessing, really, because, every day is a gift.
Absolutely.
And we are
Every
supposed to
day
live like
is a
that.
gift.
Yep.
And we
don't
just
know
live
when the
that
end
way.
is going to come for anybody,
Yeah.
sudden or long-term illnesses. We don't know. It wasn't done on purpose. We all have a birthday and we all have a death day.
Well, and
Yeah.
in my mind, I honestly believe this is that it is not the end.
No.
And it's
And
not.
I have
It's just
believed
this
this
little
my
time.
entire life.
Yeah. Same.
It is not the end. It is the beginning.
Of something.
And that's what that's our destination. This is like our
Pre-show.
no, what's this? Our hazing. It's our hazing.
My
It's
God, that's
definitely
even
hazing.
better.
Mm-hmm.
The opening act.
I feel like I've been
Yeah.
hazed and I've been in the military for a while.
Yeah. That's just my belief system.
Waterboarded.
And I love it. And it makes me feel better.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back-
Grief is like waterboarding.
Yeah.
If we
Back-
can take it back
back
to water.
to the ocean.
Full circle. Full circle.
Way to bring that one
Not
home.
to sugarcoat it or anything.
No.
Back to the support system, though. I really wanted to touch on like what the kids and I did last year. That was really helpful for me. So if like this can help anyone else, but we obviously like we had the meal train and the GoFundMe, and we had all this like love from a financial aspect given to us too, which was very helpful. And so we decided to adopt a family for Christmas. And I know Steamboat does like the Secret Santa thing, and there's other, churches you can go to, or even just taking stuff to lift up. But that was the coolest experience for the kids to like go shopping, pick out the gifts. We wrapped them together. We were, so like that was like really fulfilling. So we decided to, I'm like, that's like our new tradition now. Like,
I love that.
just to give, and the kids are like, we don't need presents this year. It's fine. Like they just wanted to be. Last year we weren't in our home for Christmas, but that was when they were doing the remodel. So we were kind of displaced. So like this year, like the kids are like, we want to put up Christmas decorations like the first week in November. I'm like, done.
Do it.
We did it.
Good
And
job.
it was
That's cool.
so like joyful and happy. And so I'm like, okay, so we got the Christmas decorations up. We're hosting a Friendsgiving tomorrow.
Nice.
We will do the, adopt a family. And it's just like, it's
Yeah.
like that. We made the new traditions.
It's
We made the
about
pivot.
getting out of your own head and serving yourself. When you serve others, then you have no time to feel sorry for yourself or to be sad because you're so busy getting filled with light by serving others or having friends over and making those connections.
Well, and you
That's
just
so good.
realize that not everyone is as we've been through the ringer. Everyone's been through the grief and the hard and whatever. But like, this holiday season, let's focus on the good.
The good.
And
I
the
do have
gifts
to
that
tell
we have.
you, I really have enjoyed watching you this year. You're extremely inspiring. The way you've carried this, like we say, it's a choice. You could have gone down the shit show road and you had every right to. But the way you've honored your family, your kids, the way you've honored Matt, the way you've honored just every single thing about this stupid process.
Thank you.
It's really inspiring, and you make me smile every time I see something on social media. But I also smile and connect with you even more when you are raw and real and even talk about the yucky things. And that's okay too, because it's important.
Yep.
Yeah. So thank
And
you
it is
for
very true.
all of it.
And I like too
Yes.
about you saying about starting or creating new traditions. That doesn't mean you're leaving behind or forgetting
Right.
the old traditions or the person that's no longer here for the holidays, but you're choosing to focus on something new and fresh. And I think that's good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's a combo of both. And that's what another thing that my friend Michelle had shared with us is that they kind of do some of the same traditions. And I think it was a holiday maybe that didn't go so well. And then she's realized like she kind of has to mom plan it so that they can all be together. And they've found ways to kind of create those new traditions.
Yeah, you can pivot at any time. And when
Pivot.
pivot. And when you're like on your trip, if that grief hits you, like just pivot, do something else, go to the pool, like whatever, it's like it doesn't have, I don't know, sit in it for a little bit, right? Let yourself feel it. Because I do feel like that again is another way to shed another
Heal.
layer.
It's more healing.
Yeah.
Accept it, cry it out,
Yeah.
call somebody.
Yep. Let's end on this quote because I think this is pretty profound. Grief is not a disorder, a disease, or a sign of weakness. It is an emotional, physical, and spiritual necessity, the price you pay for love.
No.
The only cure for grief is to grieve. Isn't that good?
That is so good.
What's the other tattoo, Liana?
That's a big tattoo.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting...
You got a little space on your
I
back.
already have this tattooed on me, and you can't even read it anymore. But it says, everything that has happened to you has really happened for you to build strength, and with strength comes power. And I got that tattooed on me after my I was going through my second divorce, and I just had to remind myself I'm not a victim, and it's my choice if I am a victim or am I a victor, or am I a survivor, or am I going to get beyond and be a thriver? And so and I use that on people a lot. I'm like, it's either happened to you. Like people are like, why does this always happen to me? Or you can have the mindset, did it happen for you? And how are you going to use that? Learn, move on, live, make good choices. Things like that.
And we can apply that to grief too then.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Well, great job, friends.
Thank you, Kelli, for coming.
thank you for having me. I'll be back in 6 months.
Yeah, you will.
Check in.
Yeah, you will.
After Costa Rica.
After Costa Rica.
Yes.
I know. Take more trips.
And which
for
is what they
you.
say to do.
Yeah.
Right? They
Yeah.
say
And that's
Take
really
more
special
trips.
because that's a steamboat based it's 10 steamboat families and it's a healing retreat. So it
that's
should be pretty
lovely.
cool.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was actually booked before Hawaii even. This has been booked for like a year and a half.
Wow.
Well, not even a year and a half. Well, a year.
Huh.
Since
Okay.
right after. It lives really
Maybe
right
we'll
after.
have to go
Wow.
next year.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the show on the road.
Mhm.
Am I right?
Oh,
Mhm.
oh yeah. Maybe they would
Yes.
sponsor us and fly
And
us.
they
you go.
Anyone want to sponsor us?
And thanks, listeners, too,
Thank
for
you guys.
sharing these amazing quotes about grief. It really made us think about things that maybe we hadn't thought about during this time.
Yes. And if anyone has any ideas or topics that they would like us to share, just reach out to us. And have an amazing holiday season. Have an amazing Christmas, and just love and hug your family and friends, and a stranger maybe.
Gently.
Yes. Or ask first.
With
before you
permission.
hug them.
With permission.
Good grief.
Good grief.
Go grief.
Bye.
Bye.